final day of a thrilling LV County Championship match in Taunton began with visitors Nottinghamshire as the slight favourites, although they were not helped when Jim Allenby was put down at slip by Stephen Mullaney off Samit Patel in the third over of the morning. Somerset had begun the day on 274 for 5, needing 127 more runs for a famous win, having fallen 210 runs behind on first innings. Notts now had the second new ball in their hands, but all that did was see Peter Trigo lift his game some more with a string of boundaries, which soon had the runs required down to double digits. He was well backed up by Allenby, the pair's partnership for the sixth wicket, moving towards three figures. Nottinghamshire would have been looking at the scoreboard and seeing a game that they dominated for the first 5 sessions, slipping away from them. Trigo, who'd begun the day on 26, was at his 51st, one which occupied 62 balls and included 10 fours. Over the past few years, the all-rounder has made a habit of scoring important fourth innings runs for his county, and these must have been amongst his most important of all. Allenby, who resumed his knock on 32, also played a crucial hand and was raising his bat after getting to a 50 off 77 deliveries. The partnership between these two moved up to 116, taking the total to 359, and so now just 42 more runs were needed to complete a head-turning victory. With the seamers having no success, Ricky Vessels soon returned to his spinners, and Patel won an LBW decision to remove Allenby for 62. It was just a spark that the visitors needed, and although Somerset must have fancied their chances from here, we had a game on. Notts had been guilty of some profligacy in the field, none more so than when Ben Hilfenhaus dropped a sitter at deep backward square off Matthew Carter, who was denied his 10th wicket in his debut match, the fielder just losing his footing at the wrong time. Carter, however, was not to be denied for long, as a half drive from Trigo was held at slip by Mullaney, Trigo departing for 79 with 36 still required. A good crowd who'd come to watch this nail-biter shifted even further towards the edge of their seats. And their heart rates weren't helped any when Tim Groeneval, the man dropped by Hilfenhaus earlier, missed a sweep off Patel and fell leg before for 13. With the total now on 381, the target 401. You could tell from the fielders' faces that they now fancied their chances. Enter Abdurrahman. He and Michael Bates batted carefully to begin with until the Pakistani seized his opportunity. These two fours in the space of 3 deliveries from Carter meant that Somerset were now just one more boundary hit away from becoming the second side to chase down more than 400 runs in the final innings at this ground this year. Middlesex having already done that, having been outplayed for much of their game. Shortly before the scheduled lunch break, Rahman finished the job off with another 4 through the leg side, which had everybody in the ground on their feet and the Somerset dressing room in raptures. The club anthem, a Wurzels classic, being sung vociferously. It finished off a quite remarkable fight back, Somerset taking the game by 2 wickets after being behind for so long. Naturally, the reaction from both camps was very different.
I think in the context of our season at the moment, it's so important that we could get another victory and get some more points on the board. It's not been our easiest challenge so far for the start of the summer, but you know, to keep sneaking games like that, and when you're behind them for a couple of days, then it's obviously a nice feeling. But yeah, delighted to win.
Well, I think if you look at it from a cricketing angle, our second innings batting has cost us the match because we felt that it was the right decision to bat because we thought the pitch would turn more and more as the game went on. So therefore, you want to do your batting and then bowl last. You know, we didn't particularly want to bat last on a turning pitch. So I think that 190 in the second innings is where we've lost the game, and that's really the questions we've got to ask ourselves.
You've gone in the voice. Too much singing after the victory.
Well, that's the bad thing about not winning too many games. I haven't sung the Wurzels song Blackbird, which is our team song, so I think I've blown a little bit of a larynx, I think, somewhere down the line.
So here's confirmation of an incredible win for Somerset, their second of the season, both against this opposition. Somerset took 20 points to move them out of the relegation places in Division 1, while the 8 accrued by Notts drops them into the bottom 2. They now head to Headingley to take on the unbeaten champions Yorkshire from Monday, while Somerset go to Hampshire for another relegation 2-header, which begins the day before.